Pitching to Stephen Kwan is a lot like interrogating the Joker. You think you're in charge. You think you're calling the shots, only to find out that every move you've made has actually been carefully calculated by him. You've fallen right into his trap, and now you have to pay the price. In the words of Commissioner Gordon, the Joker planned to be caught. Let's take a look at what a normal player is thinking when he approaches the plate. Okay, if he throws the ball here, I'll swing. If he throws the ball here, I'll try to hit it 500 feet. And if he throws the ball anywhere else, I'll just lay off. And wouldn't you know it, the strategy worked. Okay, now let's take a look at what Stephen Kwan is thinking when he approaches the plate. I don't care where this pitch is, I'm not swinging.
Stephen Kwan will lead it off for Cleveland. Kwan. Bradford missed outside.
Nice eye, patience.
Ball 4 and the lead.
As you can see, the approaches are quite similar, except for the fact that they're not at all. A typical batter will swing at pitches from time to time, but Kwan takes a contrarian stance here. He doesn't swing. Okay, obviously he swings the bat sometimes. I mean, how else would the analytics community be able to dunk on him for his bat speed? Being near the bottom of the league in both of these categories, though, is what makes Kwan both fascinating and confusing at the same time. But more than that, it means he really should be an easy out. Think about it for a second. If you're a pitcher and you know that a hitter A doesn't swing, and B, the times he actually does swing, he doesn't swing fast, your first thought is not going to be, oh no, what will I ever do to get this batter out? Actually, I don't think that'll be anyone's reaction to anything ever, but you get the point. What you'd probably do is fill up the strike zone as much as you can. But the point is, you wouldn't fear this batter like you would a Judge or a Soto or an Ohtani. So, how the heck does Kwan manage to be so productive then? You'll find out right after this commercial break. Alright, back from the commercial break, let's figure it out. Every player has their own offensive approach. Some guys are aggressive, some guys are patient, some guys strike out a lot, some would rather die than strike out. Luis Arraez. And the thing about your approach is that it's tied to your skill set. Or at least it usually is. Luis Arraez has terrible bat speed, but his short swing allows him to make contact with almost every pitch that comes to him. Giancarlo Stanton, on the other hand, swings a lot because when he hits the ball, it makes radio announcers lose their mind. This is the same thing with Kwan. Not the radio announcers losing their mind part, but the part about their skill set. Whether he's consciously thinking about it or not, Kwan deploys a strategy that maximizes his skill set. A skill set that he's probably had for his entire baseball life. But at the end of the day, he's a walking paradox. His greatest strength is also his greatest weakness. And this is where the genius of Kwan comes into play. Kwan knows that he's not going to mash his way on base every time up. He doesn't hit the ball hard enough to do that. But what he does do well is make contact. In fact, he does this better than almost every other player in the league. From here, he's able to say, okay, if I can make contact whenever I want, I'm going to make the pitcher earn it. Essentially, the strategy becomes, unless I get the exact pitch I'm looking for, I'll take it. Once I get to 2 strikes, I'll leverage my contact ability to help me get on base. The strategy is perfectly captured by this graph of swing data from 2024. In it, we spot a very clear pattern, and that's Kwan swings less than average when he's ahead, and he swings more than league average when he's behind. Again, I don't think he's consciously going up there and thinking about any of this. At least I hope not. It's just something his brain has conditioned his body to do in order to receive the reward, which is just getting on base. And this strategy gets very frustrating for pitchers because he's learned to excel when he's behind in the count. Since he entered the league in 2022, Kwan has the 4th highest 2-strike run value, behind Judge, Tucker, and Freeman. Pitching to Kwan with 2 strikes becomes annoyingly difficult because he breaks all the rules. Traditionally, when a pitcher has 2 strikes, he'll try to get the batter to chase. But Kwan doesn't chase, so now you've just thrown a ball. Throw it on the borders of the zone and Kwan will slap it foul. At this point, you're left with one option, and that's throw it in the zone and see what happens. There's one more piece of this puzzle that we haven't talked about yet, and it solves for the paradox of Kwan that we touched on earlier. It's something called squared up rate. Squared up rate is the exit velocity obtained compared to the maximum possible velocity available, given the speed of the swing and pitch. Another, less confusing way to put it is, did you hit it on the sweet spot? Kwan, as we know, does not have good bat speed, but he's getting the most out of his swings. He's making contact on the sweet spot all the time. Someone with fast bat speed, like O'Neal Cruz, can reach exit velocities upwards of 120 miles per hour. Kwan will never be able to do that, but he can reach his potential exit velocity more often. Add in his exceptional ability to hit line drives, and you've officially created the most annoying hitter on the planet. One that every pitcher thinks should be an easy out, but as we know, certainly is not.